Thinking about listing your home right now, you're probably about to make the most expensive mistake of your life. I'm going to give you the 9 brutal reasons not to sell. And the last one, it's the exact move that cost a Hamilton homeowner $72,000 and shattered their retirement. Yeah, this one's going to sting. Let's go. I'm Mike Johnson. I've sold over 500 homes across Hamilton, Ancaster, Stony Creek, and I've got 250 plus glowing Google reviews to back it up. I don't post and pray. I price like a sniper and advertise like a Fortune 500 company. And I'm telling you right now, most sellers shouldn't even be thinking about listing in this market. If you're thinking about moving, pause. I'm gonna walk you through the 9 brutally honest reasons not to sell, starting with the biggest mind trap that takes smart people down every single year. Reason number 1, you're making an emotional decision. Real talk. If you're listing your home because of a death, a divorce, empty nesting, or you're just feeling lost, this is not the moment to make a 6-figure decision. Selling your home is not therapy. It's a financial chess match. And if you're an emotional checkmate, the market will take your king and your equity. I've had sellers in West Hamilton and Ancaster list within months of losing a spouse. I sat in their living rooms, looked them dead in the eye, and said, "Don't sell, not yet." This isn't HGTV, this is your life. You're about to invite buyers, inspectors, lawyers into your emotions. And if you're not stable mentally, financially, logistically, the stress alone will cost you. By the way, if this already feels a little too real for you, you're exactly who I built this for. I put together a free guide, How Smart Hamilton Homeowners Are Adding $63,000 to their sale price in just 14 days. It's the exact pricing, prep, and strategy plan that my clients are using right now to sell for top dollar fast. Link is in the description. Grab it before you make a move that you'll regret. Reason number 2, you have no plan of where you're gonna go. Okay, here's what I hear all the time. We're just gonna sell and figure it out later. That's not a plan. That's a panic attack waiting to happen. Especially in Hamilton, where low inventory means you might sell in 3 weeks, especially if you hire someone like me, and you'll have nowhere to go for 3 months. I had a couple in Stony Creek with a gorgeous property right under the escarpment. They thought they'd just downsize to a cute little bungalow. The problem? There were exactly 0 bungalows available that met their needs. They would have sold a dream for a compromise. I told them straight up, you have no destination whatsoever. That means no deal. Stay where you are, at least for now. If you don't know where you're going, you're not ready to go anywhere, period. Reason number 3, the math just doesn't math anymore. Let's talk numbers. You're sitting at a 2.19% mortgage from 2022. And now you want to move into a 5.7 mortgage at a slightly lower price point in the middle of what is one of the most volatile markets that I've ever seen. And you call that downsizing? You're not downsizing, you're debt swapping. And your monthly payment might actually go up, even though you're moving into a smaller house. Now throw in the closing costs, the land transfer tax, the moving expenses, the realtor fees, and potentially 20 to 30K in upgrades just to make a new place feel like your current one. Hamilton's average detached home price is still above $850,000. You're not finding your dream house, bungalow, downsizing fantasy for $699. I'm sorry, but that's not happening unless it's falling over. Don't fall for the myth that smaller equals cheaper. It often equals more expensive per square foot, and that's unusable space. Reason number 4, your dream layout doesn't actually exist. This one's gonna hurt. You wanna buy a 1-story, low maintenance, main floor primary suite, open concept ranch and garage, finished basement, walkability to the farmer's market. Guess what? Every other downsizer in Hamilton wants the exact same thing. And there are maybe 3 of those homes on the market at any given time. And I can tell you, there are a lot of you. And if you don't find one of those homes, get ready for a bidding war with a couple other people just like you that have sold their homes, they're cash buyers, they're already sold, potentially living in temporary rentals. It can be competitive for downsizers. Also, when you move from the 3,000 square foot house to a 1,500 square foot house, the primary bedroom is tiny compared to what you're used to, and the place just feels cramped AF. I've watched people walk into these perfect downsizing homes and immediately feel like they've downgraded their entire life. So far, we've covered the emotional decisions, no destination plans, bad math, and unrealistic layouts. And we're just getting warmed up. Now let's talk about the chaos that happens when you try and buy and sell at the same time, and why most people completely screw this up. Reason number 5, you're not ready to buy and sell at the same time. Selling and buying at the same time in Hamilton is like playing speed chess on a roller coaster with a blindfold on. Let's say you sell your home fast, which you probably will if you don't go with the cheap guy and you hire someone like me who actually knows what they're doing. And then you've got 30 days to find a new place, close, and move. What if your offer gets beat? What if your mortgage falls through? What if you can't even find a home that suits your needs? I've seen it all. I've seen sellers living in Airbnbs. I've seen them living with their kids, their cat, and all their furniture in storage because they thought the timing would line up. Spoiler, it didn't. If you don't have a plan for financing, bridge options, temporary housing, and mortgage qualification, then you're playing roulette with your life savings. Feeling overwhelmed? That's normal. Selling and buying at the same time is chaos, unless you have a plan. That's why I offer a free one-on-one strategy call. No pressure, no BS, just a real conversation to figure out your options. Links in the description below if you want to talk to someone who's actually done this 500 times. Reason number 6, you've hired the wrong agent and it's going to cost you. Maybe you went with the cheap guy. Let's be honest. Most real estate agents should not be real estate agents. You know how low the barrier is to get licensed as a realtor? It's easier to become an agent than it is to open a gym membership or order a package off Amazon. If your agent can't explain market absorption rates, doesn't know how to run a sniper level digital ad for your house, or hasn't sold at least 100 homes in the last 3 or 4 years, they're not qualified to advise you, period. And here's the dead giveaway. If the agent you're talking to won't tell you not to sell, they're not an advisor. They're a commission chaser, and they probably have worse smelling commission breath than you've ever smelled before in your life. Disgusting. The good ones? They'll walk away from listings that aren't a fit. I've turned down detached homes in Stony Creek, townhomes in Westdale, homes all over Hamilton because the strategy wasn't right. The seller wasn't ready, or the numbers just didn't add up. You need brutal honesty, not approval. You're not selling a couch, you're moving your entire life. Reason number 7, just testing the market. Mike, we just want to test out the market. Maybe someone will come along and pay us what we want. We don't have to sell. We're just curious what we could get. Want to know what that tells me? You shouldn't sell. Testing the market without real motivation is a recipe for sitting stale, getting lowballed, or worse, getting stuck in a price drop cycle that kills your momentum and ultimately your equity. Hamilton buyers are smart. If your listing's been on the market for 21 plus days with no price change and no new ad push, they smell blood in the water and you're no longer a prize, you're a project. I've had sellers say that magic phrase all the time. Mike, we don't have to sell. And you know what I say back? Well, then don't. This isn't a curiosity exercise, it's a tactical campaign. You need motivation, precision, and a mission. Reason number 8, you're sitting on deferred maintenance. Now we're getting into the stuff that nobody really wants to talk about. Is your roof curling, your HVAC decades overdue, or your backyard look like a scene from Survivor? You're not ready to list, you're ready to renovate. Deferred maintenance is the number 1 deal killer. Buyers today are ruthless, and for good reason. They've been burned before, and they're not gonna overpay for your potential. You can't polish a listing photo or hide rot. You can't filter foundation cracks. The inspection will find it. And when it does, you're either gonna eat the repair costs or lose the sale completely. Think about it like this. If you wouldn't buy your own house in its current condition, why would you ever expect someone else to? I've walked through homes in Ancaster that could have sold for 1.2 million, but because the seller ignored the basics, broken railings, unfinished basement, moldy windowsills, we lost buyers within 48 hours. Look, if your home needs work and you're not sure how to fix it or what to skip, this free guide breaks down in plain English exactly what to update, what to ignore, and how to still maximize your sale. Click the link below for your free guide, or if you'd like, book me in for a free strategy call. Remember that seller who I told you lost $72,000 at the beginning of this video? They made 3 critical errors that I've already listed. Emotional selling, no plan, lazy prep, and a discount agent. I begged them to hold off, they decided to list anyway. And now, they're living in a rental, waiting for the market to bounce back and regretting everything. Let's get real. If your entire strategy is prices are high, let's cash out, you're betting on the market that doesn't care about your plans. Right now, Hamilton's real estate market is a war zone. Detached homes are down, townhouses are down, and condos, absolute bloodbath. I just sold 1 condo last month. The buyer had paid over $600,000 for that condo back in 2022. Guess what it sold for? $400,000. You may think you're sitting on a gold mine, but what you're actually sitting on is a variable asset with no guarantees. This market turns fast. Interest rates spike, Political headlines everywhere, and even just one bad CPI report can shift buyer confidence overnight. And if you're not prepared, you're not cashing out, you're caving in. If the only reason you're selling is because some headlines say that now might be a good time or the market's up, then you're already too late. Reason number 9, you don't actually want to move. You want to escape. Look, this is the hardest truth that I'll say in this whole video. You don't really want to move. You just want to escape. You're tired, the house feels too big, you're sick of shoveling snow or dealing with a leaky faucet you've ignored for the last 6 years. But those aren't selling problems. Those are lifestyle clarity problems. The truth is, most people don't need a new home. They need a new plan. And sometimes that's as simple as hiring a handyman or downsizing inside your own home or even renting for a year to recalibrate. You don't need to solve your stress by selling your house. You solve your stress by fixing the root cause. I had a couple a few years ago who were convinced they had to move to Niagara to feel happy. You know what they did instead? They reconfigured their basement, cleared out decades of clutter, brought in a designer, and they stayed. They're still there. They saved money, they saved stress, and they got their life back. Okay, so let me tell you what really happened with the couple that lost $72,000. They had a beautiful detached house, like I mentioned, just under the escarpment. They rushed the decision, ignored the warning signs, hired a rookie agent who hadn't sold more than 5 homes per year, and they went to market completely unprepared. They overpriced their house by $80K, didn't fix the siding, skipped staging, literally didn't do anything to get their house prepared, and they had zero backup plan. 4 price drops later, 3 months on the market, endless stress, they ended up selling under their original value they paid for the house, paid a premium to rent back their house for 60 days, and missed out on the only home they truly wanted to buy. The reason I know this, I kept in touch with them after they sold, and they told me this horror story. And now, they tell me they're stuck renting in a city that they don't even like, all because they wanted to test the market. You want to know the difference between people who win and people who lose in real estate? The winners prepare. They strategize, they ask the hard questions, and they don't get seduced by hype or fear. The losers, they rush, they guess, they panic, and they wonder why it didn't work out. So before you even think about listing your Hamilton home, do this. Click the link below, download my Hamilton Home Seller Guide, and I'll show you how smart sellers are adding up to $63,000 to their home's value in under 14 days. Click the link and I'm going to text it to you right now because your phone is likely in your hand. Inside is everything from pricing formulas, ad strategies, timelines, hiring an agent checklist, the stuff no one else will tell you. And if you're even 6 months, 12 months, or 2 years out from selling, you need this now. If you got value from this video or you think maybe it will save you money or some heartache in the future, smash the like button and hit subscribe for more advice on the Hamilton real estate market. I will appreciate it so much. And remember, sometimes the best way to win in real estate is not to sell, at least not yet.